All right, so I want to share with you a simple equation that will really help you simplify the idea of growing your top line revenue. A lot of agencies think, gosh, Mike, there's so many different ways that we could do this, but I find that they generally boil down into 4 different categories. So we're going to use this spreadsheet. I'm going to walk you through a couple ideas here to help illustrate what I'm talking about. So imagine you had $100,000 in revenue, and that could be per week, per month, per year. Time frame doesn't really matter. What really matters is the variables that led us to this point. So let's imagine that you had 100 leads with a 20% conversion rate. That would give you 20 customers. Then each one of those customers or clients, they just bought from you one time on average, and the average dollar sale. So each time they hired you, they invested $5,000. That's what gets us to $100,000. So if we wanted to double this number, we could do some very simple things, right? So let's say instead of 100 leads, let's do 200. So maybe there's some new lead gen strategy that you could deploy. Maybe there's something that, influx of new opportunities that's going to get you from 100 to 200, and that's what leads to this $200,000 revenue in your business. Okay, so if not that, maybe 20% isn't great. You could do 40% instead. Maybe there's some change to your sales process or who you're targeting or something that's going to help increase your conversion rate. That could help you accomplish your goal. Let's say that instead of one sale, we said, we're going to go back to every client and make sure that on average, instead of them investing one time with us, they're going to invest twice. And that would get you to your goal. Or you could go to the average dollar sale and say, okay, instead of having them invest $5,000, let's have them invest 10, maybe because you just raise your rates, or maybe there's more stuff you're including, and that could get you to your goal. So any one of those numbers, doubling them is going to double your revenue. But I imagine the idea of going from, say, 100 to 200 leads, or 20 to 40% conversion, or 1 to 2 sales, or $5,000 to $10,000 in average dollar sale, like that may seem like a bigger leap to actually go. But the beautiful thing is, because there's a multiplier effect happening here, we actually don't need to see a doubling of any one of these things in order to reach a doubling in our total. So let me show you what I mean. So over here on this tab here, I've got our multiplier here. So if we were to just increase each one of these things, I did the math before this, so 1.19, 19%. So a 19% increase in leads, a 19% better conversion, 19% more sales, 19% more average dollar sale. That's what would lead us to doubling of our revenue. And so what's powerful in seeing this is that the 4 moves that you can make really boil down to, how can I get 19 more leads? Just 19 more leads, right? That doesn't sound as difficult as saying I need 100 double more leads, right? In conversion rate, you have to ask yourself, how can I get a 3.8% improvement on my conversion? That could just be closing one more deal, right? Number of sales, how can I get, just 19%, roughly 2 out of 10 prospects to come in to buy again, okay? That seems a lot easier, right? Not so daunting as getting 100% of your clients buying too. Average dollar sale, how could I increase from 5,000 to just under 5,900? Right? That is not as big of a deal. So each one of these categories, of a small increase in each one, doesn't have to be some crazy strategy. It could just be a little attention that you bring to your business in these categories and these 4 moves to double your business. And that's how you double it. Now let's have some fun, since while you're here, what if we did double each one of these categories? Do you want to? Maybe you guys have already been crunching that number, so no cheating on that. But if you haven't yet, get in your mind, what do you think this number becomes? We double each one of these things here. All right, you got that number? $1.6 million, right? 200 leads with a 40% conversion rate gives you 80 customers. 80 customers, each buying 2 times from you at $10,000 a piece, is what leads us to $1.6 million, right? So that's the power in multiplication. Like, to go back to your 3rd grade teacher and them teaching you multiplication, like back then maybe it wasn't so fun, but here, like, it starts to get a lot more interesting. Wouldn't you agree? So that's what's cool about this, is that, like, if you're going into, because this happens a lot in agency coach, people come to me and like, Mike, I need more leads. And I'm like, well, do you need that many more leads? Or do you need a combination of just a little more leads, a little better conversion rate, a little more, average number of sales, a little better average dollar sale? These small tweaks really add up and really make a big impact. So when you're looking about the moves you're going to make in order to increase or even double your business, think of it from this perspective. You don't need a huge increase in any one of these categories to make a really big impact on your overall revenue. So hopefully that was helpful to you. If you want a copy of this spreadsheet so you can play around with the numbers yourself, let me know. Around this video, we'll either have a link or you can go to the description to grab a copy of that as well. Hope that was helpful and help you kind of alleviate some of the pressure associated with growing your business, because growing your business is about small increases in a few different areas to really make a big impact.